I'm wearing my red hat for this, so I think you're gonna like it. Produced by Walking Flag Troy. Ladies, you can thank me later. 10 red flags in men. I'm getting under the sheets for this one, and then I'm gonna have my red flag buddy next to me. Feel free to open up a glass of white wine, red wine, a bottle of champagne, a cold beer, maybe a little tequila if we're trying to get really silly, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because welcome back to another episode of Troy Talks a Lot. I haven't done that since like episode 1 or 2. Oh fuck, I just spilled all over myself. That's like my second one, so I'm feeling pretty good right now, which means lucky for you, there are no filters tonight. There usually aren't any filters on my episodes, but tonight especially, we're just going to dive deep. As I mentioned previously, and as you can tell by the title down below, I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw a girl pop up with red flags in men. So I went to the TikTok search bar and I typed in red flags. And everyone and their mom had like the same fucking red flags. It was like the same 3 over and over. It was like, if he doesn't put in effort, yeah, no shit. That's not even a red flag. That's just like the bare minimum. No shit. If he's not doing that, I hope you're not entertaining that guy. There was another one like, if he's a mama's boy, I'm a mama's boy and I'm great. I don't think that's a red flag. If he's rude to servers, yeah, I touched on that in the last one. Again, that's the bare minimum. They were just really stupid. They were plain and boring, and there was like no creativity behind it. And like, yeah, to me, there is a difference between the bare minimum and a red flag. The bare minimum is just the bare minimum. Like, if he isn't doing that in the first place, I wouldn't even entertain the thought of that person. A red flag is you're now getting a little bit more emotionally invested, and you start to pick up things that you like and you don't like. Thus the red flag. So here are my 10 red flags. They are in no particular order. It's just 10 that I came up with and thought I would share with you. Some I feel deserve a little bit of an explanation. Others I feel are pretty straightforward, so I might just say what they are and you can fill in the blank. Here we go. When she takes 6 hours to respond, it's a good thing that she's cute though, so I will dismiss that red flag. That is not a good way to start this podcast. Number 1, but again, this is in no particular order, love bombing. If you don't know what love bombing is, that's really just when a guy does everything in his power to be extremely nice to you or to tell you everything that you want to hear. It's a very manipulative state of mind that that person is in, just trying to get the most out of you. There is no guy nicer to you than one that wants to get into your pants. I said it. You will never find a guy nicer to you than one that wants to sleep with you. Which is why you're like, wow, he's such a gentleman. He's so nice. Then after you guys are intimate, he goes ghost. And you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened? You were telling me that you loved me. You want to take me on all these trips. And you love the way that I sipped my tea in the morning. You know, that's just grade A love bombing. You know, there's just times that you say certain things to kind of get what you want. Every time I throw that, that's a red flag. Again, there is no guy nicer to you than one that wants to sleep with you. So that's the first red flag, love bombing. That is like my most uncreative one, by the way. The other ones I like actually really thought of, but I saw that one and I was like, yeah, I agree with that. Number 2, when he has Snapchat. It's 2023. If you're 25 and you still have Snapchat, what the fuck are you doing? Like, who are you trying to hide from? You do realize Snapchat was made for sexting. If you really want to talk to someone, text them. If you want to see their face, FaceTime them. The only time it's appropriate to use Snapchat is if you're sub 18 years old. If you're in middle school and high school, that is the only time I say it's appropriate to use Snapchat. Once you graduate from high school, grow a pair and get her number. It's not that hard. Oh, I like this one. Number 3, when he tells you that she's just a friend, that either means that he's already slept with her or has yet to sleep with her. There is absolutely no in between. You ever see that TikTok with Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick when they're like, yeah, we're just friends, purely platonic. And then they just laugh. It's like, if Kourtney allowed it, Scott would bang the shit out of her. Okay? Like, that's just, yeah. The only time a guy and girl can be friends is when they're actually not sexually attracted to each other. Yeah, on to the next. This wine just has me spilling all the secrets. All right. I'm going to call myself out on this one, but if he really knows his astrology, red flag. Throw the flag. It's totally fine to like know a couple signs. Like I know like Sagittarius and Capricorn and Leo and Gemini and Cancer and Pisces, and I know a lot. I don't necessarily know like rising moon and falling star, whatever the fuck it's called. If homeboy really knows his astrology, He's either one, just like a super weirdo because it's fine if girls know it, but if a guy knows it, that's like a little weird. Or two, like he uses astrology to like flirt with girls. And that's exactly what I do. Like if a girl says that, she's a Capricorn and she asks me what I am and I'm like, oh, I'm a Gemini. The first move I do is that I immediately go to the Google search and type in astrology compatibility. And I throw in, Capricorn and Gemini and just read off the whole list of like how compatible we are, how intellectual we are, and how like sexual we are, and our values and our morals. And it really does work every time. I didn't realize I was putting people on game tonight, but like that's what I do. So I would say that's a red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag, especially if he knows like his moons and his suns. I don't know my moons and suns. Okay, this is a good one. If you guys have been talking for a while, or dating, I should say, and he doesn't commit to you, that's a red flag. That just means that he's keeping his options open. If you guys have been talking for like months and he doesn't like claim you or like commit to you, time to move on to someone that will. I don't even know what we're on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6. If he refers to them as them, that means it's a she, and he's trying to keep them as far away from you as possible. If he's just not like, oh yeah, I'm with the guys right now. He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm hanging out with them right now. That's a red flag. Just because I know how I use it, I'm very aware how others do as well. Them is most of the time a she. There are a few exceptions, don't get me wrong, but that's usually just a guy hiding a girl, and the best way to do that is just by saying them, because he feels like he's not lying to you, essentially. He is telling you that he's hanging out with them. He's just not specifying or clarifying that them is a she. This is so good. This is like so good for you. Like the amount of videos I watched on TikTok, like none of them said any of this shit. Oh man, Troy, you're using all your fucking secrets, man. This just makes me seem like a piece of shit almost. Like I really can't post it. I don't even know if I could post this episode. Number 7. If he has his phone on Do Not Disturb when you are around. Yeah. If you're texting girls or talking to other girls while you're hanging out with one, the best thing you can do is either mute their conversations so you don't get the notification, or you could simply just turn your phone on Do Not Disturb so that a call doesn't come through as well. That's a great way to hide people. Ladies, you could also use that if you want. But number 8. If you're talking with a guy or hooking up with him or dating him for that matter, and vice versa, if he accuses you of either cheating or hooking up with somebody else, usually the cheaters are always the most paranoid. Those in the wrong are always the most paranoid because they're like, oh shit, like I know what I'm doing in this situation. They know kind of how it works and like what goes on. If he's accusing you of hooking up or cheating on you, you might want to see who the finger is pointed at. Because if he's pointing the finger like this, you got to remember that you got a couple fingers right here pointing right back at you. I haven't thrown a flag in a while. Sorry, this is for like the past 4 flags. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Number 9. When he becomes a completely different person in front of his friends. A man around his friends is his true character because he will show you exactly the type of person that he is. A guy who treats you differently behind closed doors as opposed to in front of his friends is do it with me, red flag. Number 10. I've got a lot more, but I said I'm just going to end it at 10, so I'm sure there will be more episodes coming up after this. Last but not least, guys that can't seem to keep a relationship for like any longer than a couple of months. And I don't want to hear, oh, my ex was crazy and that was on her. No, bud, it takes 2 to tango. So if you guys couldn't seem to make it work in 6 months, which is like the most precious, like lovey-dovey months of your guys' relationship, then there's something completely off with you. Wow, that was a great explanation. I need to drink wine more often. Those are my 10 red flags just for tonight. Again, no particular order, and I have so many more where that came from. The one thing that the internet won't tell you is, to me, personally, there is a difference between the bare minimum and red flags. So learn to know which one is which. Bare minimum is like the foundation, whereas the red flags are as you start to build your way up to the top of the pyramid. Let's get into your guys' questions. If you guys ever have any questions or scenarios in which you would like me to address. Oh, I got another one. Awesome. They go, hey, Troy, I just watched your video about if he wanted to, he would. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the Valentine's Day story I told you. I'm a hopeless romantic myself, very Disney-like as well, and I'm really realizing that I have never had big gestures done for me at all. Most of my life I had bad experiences with men where I overextend myself and I leave myself exposed, and somehow I've always found myself being more into the guy than they are me. I have been married and recently divorced. I've been in a relationship for the last 16 years, and now I'm entering my 30s with a 6-year-old son, and I know nothing, all caps, about men and dating. What the dating scene looks like, what the timeline is when it comes to modern day dating. Are people still waiting 3 days to text after the first date? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I literally haven't dated since high school. I know what I'm looking for, but I fear I'm entering a world I know nothing about and would appreciate if you could enlighten me and also tell me what to look out for from a man's perspective. Thanks again for the videos. You give me hope I can find my Prince Charming still, even after a heartbreak. Love, blank. Well, my love, what I like about your situation is that you've been in a relationship for 16 years. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly what you don't want. While a lot of the younger generation is trying to like weed out what they want and what they don't want, you've already have your checklist of as long as you check this box, this box, this box, and you don't check this box, this box, this box, I think we're good and we're smooth sailing. So I wouldn't look at the negatives in that. I would look at more of the positives being like, cool, I've just condensed down my list into A, B, and C. Now that you're getting to be a little bit more mature, it's kind of nice because now the games aren't being played as much. So the whole like 3-day texting rule, that's so far gone. I feel like that's a very immature thing to do. You have a 6-year-old son, like you have bigger worries and concerns in the world as opposed to a guy who doesn't text you in 3 days and vice versa. In terms of dating, go out and talk to people. You know, if you're at a coffee shop, you're standing and there's a cute guy next to you, just be like, hey, like what's good here? And just strike up a conversation. Like don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You've experienced love. You know exactly what that's like and it's the best feeling in the world. Don't let a crummy heartbreak like close you off so that you're no longer open and accepting to love. It's the best feeling in the world. That's all part of life. It's the ups and downs. Next. The dating scene. Okay, this one goes, hi Troy, I literally love you so much. So here's the situation. I've been talking to this boy for about 4 weeks. The first 2 weeks were really great. We hung out almost every day. He was super sweet and everything was just going super well. At the end of week 2, I was out with friends on a Saturday night and he was supposed to come. He ends up not coming and then starting a huge fight with me, accusing me of talking to other guys and making a big deal over me receiving Snap notifications from guys which were solely my friends. I could have told you that. He then tells me he doesn't want a relationship and all that kind of stuff. The days pass, he still texts me every day and asks me to hang out. He started acting like everything was fine and this past week was fine, but he said the same thing about not being ready for a relationship again. Each time I told him I respected his choice, I wished him the best. However, each time he continues on like nothing happened. So he said this on Saturday night. On Sunday, drove to my house to see me. We hung out. Today, Monday, drives an hour to see me again, tells me he likes me, and it was nice seeing me today. I'm just so confused and don't know what to do. There are more details, but I don't want to make this too long. Any advice is welcome. XOXO. Okay, I got you. Easy. Easy. This one's easy. He's getting all the benefits of a relationship without having to be in a relationship. Why would he want to change that? You're giving him A, B, and C while he is giving you absolutely nothing. It's like walking into a bakery every day and getting a croissant for free. Eventually, as you walk in, you start to expect that croissant for free. Why would that man want to go in and eventually start having to pay for a croissant when he's been getting it for free for the past 2.5 weeks? A big reason why he's not committing is there's probably other options and you can't necessarily be mad is because you've given him full access to you without the title, which is what I'm assuming that you're wanting. The best thing that you could do right now, the best advice I can give you right now is the second you decide to walk away, the faster this man will come chasing after you. And then that's when you have the option of saying, here are my boundaries. If you don't respect my boundaries, then you can't have any of me. It's an all or nothing. Just like I said, rule 6, 7, 8, I don't even remember what it was, but if he can't commit to you, that's a flag. Don't let this guy love bomb you. He's telling you, oh, I had such a great time. You're so great. You're so pretty, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't let this guy have full access to you while not given the title. And if this guy can't commit to you, walk away, okay? Walk away. There are a million other guys out there that would love to spend time with you and actually commit. The quicker you walk away, the faster he's going to start running to you. Anyways, wow, I'm burning up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching another episode of Troy Talks a Lot. And please like, comment, subscribe. I promise I respond to every single comment posted down below. So just drop a comment. I'll respond to anything. A thumbs up goes a long way. It just lets me know that you actually appreciate what I'm putting out there. Again, if you have any questions or scenarios that you want me to touch on in future episodes, feel free to email me. The email is in the description below. Regardless, I hope that you guys have all slammed your wine because I know that I have. I'm going to go get another glass, to be totally honest. With that being said, I love you, and